unfortunate we got to a spot in the culture, right? Even when you see me do something real, you don't hear a lot of applause. But what happens is we've now witnessed a shift in culture. It ain't that people don't understand what being real is, or they don't understand the real, quote unquote, real perspective. What happens is people now understand it's just cheaper to be a I should have known, because see, I've seen in this culture where they have no regard and they give rewards. I've seen bodies drop and go and interview the alleged responsible party. Little to no backlash. Little to no backlash. And salute to them. Do what you do. I keep telling you, push whatever they accept. I'm just setting the gold standard. I'm just setting the gold standard. Not that we can't have conversations, but let's have real conversations. I've always stood on that. If I want to get into a concert, that's what I was trying to tell Adin Ross. Listen, Adin, you don't need academics. That shit Akademiks got y'all doing, man. That shit is like a January admission ticket, man. Like, why y'all like crowded around Akademiks and they taking y'all, man? That shit is a general admission ticket. He ain't kicking up no motherfucking hell of a thing, man. Y'all can't even go backstage. You damn near got beat by Dave Free. You knee deep in beef with TDE because you defending Drake, and you got the nerve to say because I didn't want to have a conversation about Thug why Charleston is in character mode that I'm biased. You are posting music with fire emojis because somebody gave you $2,000. You use your entire platform to lie to the people. You don't even know the music. You don't even think it's fire, but you will post this fire because you've been paid. I came in with money. You made yours amongst these people, begging, borrowing, and stealing. Have some respect. I want to welcome everybody to another episode of It's Up There podcast, the itinerary for the culture. I go by Big Loon, uno not dos. You must never, ever, ever seen the game up close. Right now, if you listening, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit share. Let somebody know I was there. I bear witness to the game. Right now, we got a lot to talk about. I know I'm on the heels of a very heated interview that just dropped with Charleston White. I want to respond to some of the naysayers. I want to present some of the thought process that I have and had at that moment, and we want to react to some of the clips. The content is content, and people are looking at it and they have their opinions. You know, when you're a big dog, man, this shit is unfazed, man. You dig? A lot of people tag me and send me things, and I let them know, man, like, when I say I'm elite, I mean that. I'm gonna address a couple of people that's in the comment section too, because you know there's a lot of people that's trolling, but then there's a lot of people that really got hateful spirits and they're haters and they got hateful hearts, right? And just because you don't know that it's snowing in Antarctica don't mean that it ain't snowing in Antarctica. You understand me? So, hey, man, we really stacking this shit up on this side, man. We really getting to it. And so when I speak business, when I speak revenue, when I speak reputation, when I speak resume, when I speak relevancy, when I speak these kind of things, you understand me? I believe people need to just take a back seat and let me do what it is I do, right? I'm in front of the camera for a reason. I'm the CEO for a reason. I run the company for a reason. I'm at the forefront for a reason. I make the decisions for a reason. I'm a down my sword. That's just how I was born. I will not be misunderstood though, because I've been granted an opportunity to build a platform big enough to be able to establish my side of the things that I want to convey to the public. So we're going to do a little bit of that today. For people who are watching this on YouTube, come to patreon.com. It's Up There podcast. Behind that paywall is where you will get extra content, be involved with my community. The start of 2026, we're going to spend a lot more time there. Salute to everybody behind that paywall on Patreon. I really got love for y'all because I know y'all want to see me win. Y'all want to see the business go to the next level, and I owe y'all a different experience when y'all interact with the Godfather. And so I'm going to be working on getting that done as we head into 2026. Make sure that you come to patreon.com. You also see the remaining parts of the Charleston White interaction. When Charleston White came in We spoke for about 45 minutes to an hour, kind of had a little bit of back and forth, and then you see part one go live on YouTube. That's why you don't see us really coming to the interview introducing Charleston White, is because we were already speaking. Some of that stuff I kept off the camera. Some of it is just available on Patreon. We spoke about the Dancer Project situation. I was kind of taken back. I was wondering, like, what happened with you and them? Like, I don't like how that played out. And so we kind of got into that. He explained his side of it. And that's available on Patreon. There's so much to talk about, man. I invited Charleston White back on It's Up There podcast that quickly, because, you know, usually we space the guests out as it pertains to their return to the show. I brought him back because I had heard some rhetoric that he was spewing that I felt like me and Charleston would have a great conversation if we was in front of each other and spoke about it. Some of the subject matter that I heard him referencing was his language as it pertained to NBA YoungBoy fans and how they're retarded because they listen to a certain music, and how he was able to categorize them. And I thought some of that messaging deserved a credible pushback and a credible conversation. And so I brought him in to have those conversations. If you notice, when we got to the part that kind of blew the conversation up, he kind of just rolled into the Young Thug thing, and we'll get to why I didn't want to have that conversation at the time. But let's have a conversation first about Loon bringing him in. I shared the opinion, and you will see in some of these clips that, the rhetoric is dangerous, right? And so for me, I've been knowing Charleston 4 or 5 years, so I know the man and I know the character. I know what mode he can get in. I usually get the man. This time, I guess because I was pushing back some, he brought the character out. It's an important conversation for me to have. I think in 2026, I want to bring some of these conversations closer to each other. Some of these ideas that don't align with one another, I want to bring them closer to each other. Granted, we're not going to be able to have blow-ups like that because, again, we're a professional platform and in a position to do things that nobody is able to do. And so I want to protect the integrity of the brand, the product, the show, but I also want to have some of those uncomfortable conversations. And so at times we'll get into these gray areas where, we have to build this thing out. If I say, hold on, that don't make sense, and you say, well, it does make sense because X, Y, and Z. And if you think about it this way and you tie this in and the studies are this, and if you make it make sense, I have to accept new information. And I think we've been so gun-ho on whatever we got going on in our brain, we stick to it. Charleston White came on this Up There podcast. He let me know for about 15, 20 minutes that he was in character mode, and then we rolled into the Young Thug conversation. I'm looking forward to getting into the NBA YoungBoy stuff, why he was there as we get into it. And I think this is important for me to establish as well for people who don't understand. You have different kind of content being created. I do a podcast that's conversation based. The unique skill set we have is that we go from interview to conversation inside of one piece of content. And so sometimes you got to let me do what I'm doing, right? Some people have their styles that they enjoy and others don't. But I don't want people to come here thinking that they're coming to hear a NBC type of interview where it's going to be like, so Mr. President. And so this Charleston White interview got kind of heated. He ended up walking out. For people who are watching this, I'm going to kind of share some of my thought process in a moment and show you how we got to what we got as it pertains to this particular situation with Charleston White. We had already been talking for maybe an hour at this point. The conversation had evolved from a couple different things. I had already set the page and let him know, I'm gonna push back a little bit. But I want you guys to pay attention to where it got heated. And I'm going to just tell you my thought process, and then we'll get into some of the naysayers, address some of the commenters, some of the common folks who maybe don't understand where they are and why I'm here. You just a ball of misunderstanding. But before we get there, I want you to see how we rolled into this Young Thug conversation and why I decided that we weren't going to have that conversation today with Charleston White. Pay attention. Charleston White in the building. Listen, man. We having one of them conversations today. I think is long awaited.
This what make this a great interviewer. He can come back to the middle.
Yes.
That's what make you good. You do it with Dr. Umar, you done, yeah.
Yes.
You can come back to the middle.
That's why I want to have one of those today. I want us to get there because I think the people need some clarification on some things. And I think you were one of the great speakers we have in the culture. I've always said that. And so I think that's what's offensive to me to say playing on me is because I'm an elite. Well, you know my catalog though. But listen to what I'm saying.
You taking offense to it.
No, ain't no offense. I'm clarifying. No, I'm a scholar. I'm an elite. I'm an elite, so I'm playing that one. So I'm saying, all I'm saying is for me to be someone that don't reach.
Come watch me work with children, and you'll get the real me. Come watch me amongst kids, and you'll get the real me. No cameras, no.
Yeah, we need to do that.
See the real Charles.
We need to. Matter of fact, we need to put something together for around here. I'm feeding some families now.
I got one in a couple days. I got HBCU, Pine Bluff, Arkansas. So I got HBCU out there. I got a high school, and then I think a little league football organization. So I'm gonna do all that in like a 2-day time span this week. So now, homie, the real me, homie, I can't bring to the world because they don't know the pain of our children. If I brought the real me, there's no way I could sit on these podcasts and have dialogue because I'm gonna take everything back to the lyrical content of hip hop. I'm gonna take everything back to how's Young Thug and all these people still getting highlighted, but y'all have never highlighted no victim of their crimes.
I don't want to talk about Thug.
All I'm saying
I know you doing your, but you know that's my little. So
I'm saying let's not talk about Thug. Let's talk about the victims of the crime.
Yeah. Again, so for my thinkers out there, some of y'all I ain't even talking to, and that's what I try to tell some of the homies. Like when you put a piece of content out, when you put music out, you gotta understand that there's a subsection of the internet. Some of these folk, this ain't even for you, loved one. Nah, this above your pay grade. This above your, you ain't tall enough to ride this ride. You're understanding. You ain't been through enough. You ain't done enough. You ain't covered enough ground. So when I speak, please understand that I'm speaking from a perspective of a man that has got his hands dirty for the things that he was after. And so for my high level thinkers and just for the people paying attention out there, if you notice, we rolled into the Young Thug conversation off of him explaining to me, Loon, I'm in character mode. I don't bring my real self to the internet. Everything I said about NBA YoungBoy was so I can get my name in the algorithm. This is what he's telling me. I'm doing it purposely to get my name in the algorithm. I'm in character mode. He's letting me know. So I'm hearing these words, and me as a high level game related, I'm hearing them telling me, Loon, I'm in character mode. I'm paying attention to what he's saying. He's saying, yo, so that's basically telling me I'm in costume. And so when you in character mode, I need people to understand, and that's not just for bruh, that's for any content creator. When you see a nigga that go to character mode, that mean damn near nothing they say can be rooted in reality, no matter how passionate they say it. So they just saying things because they're in this character mode. I understand what that does and how inflammatory that position is in culture. And so I wanted to stop that conversation. I think it's lost on people that he had just explained to me for 20 minutes, 30 minutes that, yo, I'm in character mode. And now we want to have a conversation about Young Thug, who is a friend of mine. He's a little homie of mine. And pay attention to how it blows up and where we go from here. Pay attention. Or let's talk about crimes that have victims.
Let's talk about victims of crime.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's not put a blanket on victims.
Let's talk about them.
So it's a lot of murders that's tied.
Let's talk about
It's a lot of murders that's tied to these guys that y'all interview. Where are the families? Where are the families that y'all go get their story? Because there's two sides to this coin now.
Right.
Why
I'm the guy to interview Rich Homie Quan's father.
Rich Homie Quan didn't die of gun violence.
No, he's a victim though.
He died doing what he wanted to do.
His daddy was shot.
I don't give a damn. He's living. I'm talking about the people who done buried their sons and stuff behind it. Don't tell. So if you want the real me, let's have that discussion. Other than that, I gotta play.
Let's
go.
Let's talk about it.
So let's name.
You want to talk about some victims?
So let's name some of Thug victims.
Nah, we don't talk about Thug. We're not talking about Thug. We're not talking about Thug.
Let me call Atlanta Police Department and get some names of Thug's victims then. Some people who done died.
We're not talking about Thug.
About the victims then.
Now let's talk about victims. Period.
We finna talk.
We ain't talking about Thug.
You can't now. We gonna talk about.
We not talking about Thug.
Let me get some of Thug.
Man, we not talking about Thug, man. We leaving Thug out of this.
No, we ain't.
We moving forward. We moving forward. Nah, we ain't got to end the interview. We moving forward. Man, we moving forward, Charleston. We not talking about Thug, man. What kind of would I be to let you talk about Thug in front of me like that? What kind of victims?
Victims of crime.
Let's talk about it.
Murders.
Talk.
Murder, what I need to talk for? Let's go to Nut Mama and them.
Let's get to it.
Get Nut Mama family up here. Get Nut family up here.
Salute the Nut.
Get Nut family up here.
Listen, I've been talking to both sides.
Let me see what get the name of these victims. What's Thug baby mama got?
I talked to both sides.
What's Thug baby mama got?
We ain't talking about
Let's
Thug.
talk to victims. Then man, I don't want to talk no more.
We ain't talking about Thug, Charleston.
Let's talk about victims then.
Let's talk about victims.
Name some.
I just want to be clear, right? And Charleston, my guy. I probably said let's talk about it for 10 times. I probably said let's talk about it 10, 15 times. And let's talk about it. Yo, let's talk about the victim. Go ahead. You saying you raising awareness. I shouldn't be the one to have a conversation. You should know the names, right? Go ahead. Let's talk about it. I just didn't want to speak about Thug because you are in character mode. Now let's speak about, yo, Loon, man, you talk about everything. Y'all boys be talking about stuff. Of course we do. And I invite conversations even surrounding Young Thug and what's going on with him. But not in character mode. It's almost like people are forgetting that we're dealing with Charleston White. There's an assessment that happens. You look at it and you say, all right, I know, bro, we've been doing this long enough. I'm the highest level. I know he's in character mode. What kind of dude will I be to allow him to get on here and do what I would consider as drag Young Thug? Because I understand what he wants to say. I've heard some of the talking points. I know how they develop. I speak for a living. I do this at a high level. I even can understand what he's saying. And let me say this to the victims. Any victims out there that's been involved with anything that I've spoken on in the past that want to get on this up there, reach out to my people and we'll have a conversation about that. We are running a platform that stands for something on this side. It's unfortunate that we live in an era that they'll miscategorize your behavior. And while I do believe Charleston is in tune with victims, because this has been a part of his talking point since he came in the game, is the victim side of things. He took Tuka's side when dealing with Dirt. He took Duck Mama's side. He has been saying things about victims. But I also can identify that this is a trick to identify with the audience. And this is why these are two high-level content creators. Me and this dude sitting like this. This is two high-level minds that you're seeing battling. And you see mind tricks that's coming out. And the loud talking and the antics and the saying certain things. These are tricks of the trade when you're making content. But I really want people to understand that I stopped this conversation because he's in character mode. It's clear to me. He said it 15 million times. I'm in character mode. He moves on to the victims. Let's talk about the victims. I say it 10 times. Let's talk about the victims. He then expects me to know the victims' names. I don't know the victims' names because that's not my song and dance. I'm an information guy. So when I'm saying I'm not sitting around watching it, I'm really telling you the truth. I'm an information junkie. I'm not sitting there watching what I know some of these content dudes can name off, Rayshawn Lemon and Brandon Jenkins and Maurice Clay. Like, they can name people off that's involved with these things by proxy. Not even the main characters, like some of the side characters. They're that tapped in with it. I'm not. My job is information and demonstration. So I want to be clear about that. Now, watch how the conversation goes left now. Pay attention to this. Of who?
What? All these murders?
I don't watch that shit. I'm not talking about them little bro.
Man, let me get the detective on her.
We're not talking about Thug, brother.
Let me get the detective.
Let's talk about some other things.
Let's call the victims of any rap crime then.
Let's talk about it.
Dirk, let's name some of Dirk victims.
I don't really know
That's
them.
what I'm talking about. Y'all stay focused on the rappers. That's what I'm talking about right there, homie. The victims is invisible, but they pain ain't. These talk about who they killed, what they done. Oh, we can't talk about my nigga. Yo, killing, he hurt people.
Let me ask you a question.
I ain't never shot a gun at a black man.
Hold me accountable for what I done.
I've never shot a gun at a black man.
Hold me accountable for what I done. And of course, we're going to skip through this part. I just want to take note for people that's watching it. This is another tactic that people do when you have heated debates or conversations where at this point, he just throwing stuff out there, trying to get an emotional reaction out of me. Now, it's not anything disrespectful, but depending on what I've been through in my life, it may be triggering, right? I always remember triggering and disrespectful is two different things. So I believe at this moment, this is another tactic that we don't necessarily have a conversation, but now we go into character. We go into full character mode. Right? For us to be having the conversation, two black men to be having the conversation, and then he just pop out with, I ain't never shot a gun at a black man. What he's saying is, in his brain is, I'm sitting next to a violent little n-. But you have to remember, I'm of the executive branch. I'm elite. I'm the black man. I've been through every black man experience. And so I have a different level of intel. So I'm already understanding this is where I get them all at. I'm comfortable in that area because I get them all there. They see the hat. They see the dreads. They don't understand I'm CEO. They don't understand I understand. And that's the understanding. The most beautiful thing you can have is the element of surprise on a nigga that think, right? I'm always one step ahead from the people that prejudge what they're looking at. So this is where we go full character mode. And so I just wanted to point that out there for people who watched it, understand what's going on. This is high level chess that you're looking at. And as a professional, I took the Young Thug conversation and I spun us out of that because I had made it clear we're not speaking about that while you're in character mode. I took the conversation over to the NBA YoungBoy and the retarded comments that he had made about, all of the fans, because I wanted to have a conversation about that. I think content does the best when there's people who actually can explain their ideas and defend their positions. That's the kind of content I enjoy and I plan on producing. And so I think, we're finna roll right into this YoungBoy thing and have this conversation. Pay attention to how this goes. I defend him. I said we don't want to talk about it. I'm a big homie. We ain't talking about Charleston.
Lead your family.
Being a homie. Led my village.
You done misled.
You got life up.
I ain't listening to you.
You got life up.
Then make him apologize. What? You say you're a big homie.
Of course. You crazy.
Stop hollering big homie talk. I ain't no big homie. I'm a daddy.
I'm a daddy too. I'm multiple things.
I don't lead no.
I'm multiple things. I lead the village,
man.
Nigga.
What village?
This one.
What village?
This one.
Name something you do out here.
I just fed 52 families last week. And I'm feeding 500 families things for the families.
I did that shit by myself for 10 years.
I'm doing it out my pocket, though.
I did it out my pocket for 10 years. Never took a dollar from nobody.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's why I'm so goddamn bold in what I say. I ain't never took a
I'm looking for you. I'm listening to you.
And it's documented.
How much you spend?
What you mean? I didn't keep up with it. I ain't itemized nothing.
How you spending your own money and keeping up with it?
Because it was coming as it went.
That's what I'm telling you.
501c3.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Hyped about hype youth outreach. It's
Tell me how you spend your own money and document it.
You gotta pay taxes on it.
So how you don't know if you ain't paid taxes?
I'm not the county.
Yeah, you should have had that information. You've been talking 10 years.
I still got it.
You've been talking 10 years. You should have had that information.
I still do it. I ain't gotta prove it to you. I'm a big name in real life.
I'm a big name in real life.
Not in my world, you ain't.
Is you crazy?
Not in my world, you ain't.
I get paid for everything, Charles.
Nigga, man, I'm in moves and everything.
I can do anything.
Man, I'm doing everything.
I did see a couple questions. I want to speak about that really quick. I seen a couple questions that, people said, what did he mean when he says he's an iHeart guy? I think there's a misconception about some of the language that I've had, and sometimes I slip and I forget that I'm not speaking just to my core audience that has that understanding of how the podcasting business works. And sometimes those clips creep outside of their audience. And then without the context needed, it sounds very vague and you may not understand. Like this, when I say I'm an iHeart. there's a common misconception amongst people that do interviews and get paid a lot of money. In particular, Charleston, I've heard numbers that they said I paid them. All of that's untrue. But, you know, I don't want to blow up anybody's spot, but it's 100% untrue what Akademiks is reporting that Loon paid for Charleston White. And anybody that even thinks they understand or know what I paid, you wrong. It is nowhere in that ballpark. But I do want to say this. When you hear me in that moment say I'm an iHeart, it's speaking to the ability that I have to be paid off my audio. I'm a CEO, I own a catalog, and I have leverage with companies. And so for me, hearing someone who's coming to do an interview start the interview off saying that they played on you and then I'm playing on them because they doing interviews with me, and I'm trying to flush out the idea that, yo, you do understand that I'll get paid for this forever. For the rest of eternity. This is a part of a catalog and a business that's really solidified in the game and attached to a lot of different companies. The iHeart part is because when you speak to some of these people that are involved with the streaming, like the Kick and the Twitch, they think they're stunting on the podcasters. What they don't realize is some of us treat our audio side of the business the way that they treat Twitch. Meaning the ancillary revenue that we make from the audio is as powerful as what they're doing on Twitch, meaning we're able to also monetize everywhere y'all are monetizing, but we have this extra pocket that makes money because of the podcast industry, and it's our audio. And so I hold audio up to a certain standard because I understand that it's an extra line item from a business perspective. And so basically that's me saying that, yo, I get paid for my audio. Not only get paid for the views that you see. One of the blessings about being in this spot that I'm in, where you're one of the biggest shows in the world and you're connected with every big artist in the game, we'll get to that in a minute. What happens is that usually in this facet of the business, people would have been already infiltrated and be making more money off of me than I'm making. Right? So I would argue that some of these people that you see, they're not monetizing 100% of everything that comes out of the wheelhouse. I'm like a high 98% of what I monetize that you see, period. Meaning 98% of the content you see from It's Up There podcast, no matter where you see it or how many views it has, I'm the one that monetizes from that. And so I'm in this very unique spot because it allows me to make 5, 6, 7 times the money that these gentlemen are making. For example, there'll be 15 clip pages that have nothing to do with, let's say, Adin Ross. And they'll be monetizing, making money, and taking care of their family off of Adin Ross streaming. And granted, it helps with his marketing. So there's a give and take with it, right? My visibility doesn't do what it should do in certain markets because the lack of those clip pages. And so sometimes my visibility may be limited on certain platforms because those clip pages may not interact with it in the same way. But it allows me to control content and control the business in a way that not many of these other creators are doing without a third party attached to it. So from a business perspective, you'll go on TikTok, for example, and see 15 billion views and not know who was paid for that 15 billion views because there's nobody over here registered with a TikTok account or a creator account. There's nobody that has filled out the correct paperwork, or there's nobody that understands content IDs or created the correct paperwork to make sure that you actually reap the benefits outside of just getting famous. Because I always came into it and said the fame is cool and I'm known everywhere I go and respect it, but the money is the mission. I got a family to save. I was in the street all my life for real. Like I literally 14, 15 outside. Like I come up in it. So I'm lucky enough now to be able to sit, chill, and make sure we handle this business in a way that what I'm going to do. So I wanted to explain to people that that's what I meant at the iHeart part. Let's pay attention to the ending of this and see where we took it.
I think most of his fans, for me just sitting back seeing, I think most of them, you can barely understand what the he's saying. Just a bunch of angry young, ain't got no girls around, they violent. So most of it I really believe. So
is that for YoungBoy is fast?
All of them. Yeah, fans.
So
and all, grown people too.
but does a young boy got 10, 11 children?
Yeah, all bastard babies. He got 13.
So he got women around him. Then
He got, no. He got one woman around, but he got 13 bastard babies.
13 different women.
13 bastard babies. Children born out of wedlock. So it's not called it's children born out of wedlock, which is spiritually comes with a certain kind of curse. When they talk of generational curses, you got 13 different kids. How many of them kids might end up fucking each other if we go be serious? How many of them mothers gonna be divided by this one and that one? So let's look at the effects of this shit.
But let's talk about the tour. We'll get to some of the effects. Back to the tour.
Okay,
so we're gonna talk about some of that.
So back to the tour. So I got invited by
his team. So you get there.
I got invited by his team.
By Alex, who invited you?
I don't know. I got the numbers in my phone. So we did it. So
19.
So what I did was, and the reason why I say that is because every major city he do, since most of y'all don't know, I do research. I do quantitative and qualitative research and studies. I Google every major city he went to and sold out. The reading statistics, if you think I'm lying, every major city he went to is in the high to mid 30s on reading percentages that these people can read on or above their grade level. The high 30s at the most. So I mean, most of these towns that they go to, people are illiterate and I take it back. Mentally challenged. That sound better? I done my own study. If you think I'm lying, you do your study.
But where's your study at that the people that are buying the tickets are those people that you're speaking about from the study?
They skin color. There's no white kids going. Most black kids in America can't read, my brother. Do your statistics. It's data on it.
Right, so that's a blanket. That's a blanket statistic that you can hide behind when you say something like that.
I can't hide behind it. Me and Charlie Kirk is speaking it, and you can't prove us wrong. He just dead and can't say it. I'm saying most black children in America cannot read on or above their grade level.
Right,
that's factual data,
and that's a great conversation to have. I'm saying, why are you calling the people at the NBA YoungBoy tribe?
If you can't, because these are the ones that going there. These are my people. I'm black, and I know most black people are dumb and stupid. That's why they listen to rap music.
Can a white boy be a thug?
I don't know. I'm not a white boy.
So you only can speak on black people?
That's it. I don't speak on nothing else. Nothing else.
Charlie Kirk ain't black.
Charlie Kirk spoke on black people.
That ain't what I said.
No. I ain't never spoke on Charlie Kirk till he died. I was asked about him.
That ain't what I said either.
What you say, Charlie
said
Kirk?
You spoke. You only speak on black people. I
speak on black issues. Charlie Kirk.
So black issues.
Charlie Kirk was a black issue.
Charlie Kirk was a black issue.
He was a white man that spewed out bullshit propaganda about black people. I never knew about him till he died. And when I found out about him, get what? I said something about it.
Do you think the kids at the tour, the people that's 25 and under that go see NBA YoungBoy, do you think that they are hurt people, children?
Most of them have been molested, most of them violent, most of them angry, most of them come from traumatized mothers' experience. That's why they gravitate and relate to the music. It's always been the case.
Why not view them as wounded then?
Traumatized, wounded, hurt, fucked up, however you want to say it.
So why come in with the white principle type of verbiage?
I don't know white.
That's where they come from.
From white people?
Yeah.
I thought it came from psychologists.
Well, white people use it when a black person.
White people.
White people weaponize to black children.
White people have always used nigger.
White people weaponize retarded on black children.
No, they didn't. Because white kid was mentally retarded because black parents black people never took their kids to psychologists to be classified as mentally retarded.
No, we ain't talking about classified.
Listen,
we talking about weaponized.
I don't know what I ain't never heard white people use words.
That's right. You didn't go to school.
But I'm talking about.
So sometimes you need the student learn with his mouth closed. The student learn with his mouth closed.
What's your highest education?
The events following that, the reaction from some of the public, people who are new here, some of the Charleston White fans, or some of the onlookers, just some of the people that's just out there watching content and came across the video. What you were dealing with is Charleston White coming on to It's Up There podcast specifically because I wanted to challenge some of the ideas. There's a lot of things happening. We've been knowing each other for a while. He does great conversations and he does numbers. And so I wanted to have a conversation. He rolled into the Young Thug thing. I didn't allow him to get that off. I felt like the timing wasn't right. He had spent the greater part of the last 45 minutes explaining to me that he was in character mode and he says things that pushes him in the algorithm, and they may or may not be necessarily rooted in reality, as long as it does the job and continues to fuel the brand. And I understand that and respect the ability to maneuver in the market that way. It just won't be at the expense of me, seeing that I have a real relationship with Young Thug. Let's speak about some of that. Some of the artists you see me deal with, you know, I want to see everybody win. Number one, let's make sure we clarify that, because I'm just a real nigga, and I really got that in my heart. So I want to see everybody win. That's number one. Number two, and so a lot of these guys, we get money together. You know, our relationship evolved beyond the industry, and I want that to act as a beacon of hope to the young men that's getting in this game, and let you know there's a few real ones left. But tell me why I already knew that we're living in a day and age where a lot of people wasn't gonna respect the fact that I stood on my morals and said, yo, not right now, not in character mode. We'll do that at a later date. We'll revisit that when we really can have a conversation. It's important that people understand I could have cashed in on the chaos. I'm really big, homie. I'm really somebody that can move however I move. People respect me. Can't nobody tap me on my shoulder and tell me nothing. I just do what I do because I'm a real one. That's just how I'm really put together. And it's not no limited amount of people. I'm just like a protector. I'm just that kind of individual. Now, from a journalistic podcasting standpoint, I want to be clear. We're in a position to invite all conversations. All conversations, even those surrounding Thug and other people that you know I have relationship with. But we want to remain respectful and really try to have a dialogue that gets information out of it. I understand that character mode does not equal to dialogue. And so I decided, as a veteran of examining human behavior, I decided to pull the plug on the conversation. It's unfortunate we got to a spot in the culture, right? Even when you see me do something real, you don't hear a lot of applause. But what happens is we've now witnessed a shift in culture. It ain't that people don't understand what being real is, or they don't understand the real, quote unquote, real perspective. What happens is people now understand it's just cheaper to be a It's cheaper. It's like that decide to buy bubble because the profit margin, or because Hidden Valley now chooses this cheaper plastic container, or because Aquafina now decides to choose the cheaper bottle container because now it's easier to make. It's easier to make it as a and so it ain't that they don't understand what a real is. They just disqualify themselves from running a long race. One thing you must understand is don't no trophies come with it. Ain't nobody clapping. You know, there's a lot of people hitting my line saying a lot of different things, but I need you to understand, when you come up like I come up, you've been around long enough to see them reward these niggas who scream the loudest, not who stand the longest. And so I'm playing a long game. I understand what I'm doing. I'm going to be okay no matter what, because if all else fails, I still got to. And so sometimes I get to thinking, I get to say, oh man, they condition the culture. But I also remember that the people I'm talking to don't do no commenting. And if they do, it's rare. But salute to the commenters. Salute to the ones built like us that do comment and not street. Y'all stop marginalizing me. I keep telling y'all I'm elite, executive branch, Southern District. Y'all keep hollering street because y'all don't identify Black American culture. It's always a from the outside that's saying, yo, these boys street. Y'all grew up outside the gate. We hustlers. We know how to go get the money. But they throw that street word on you to make you radioactive to the brands and to the organizations that cut the checks. I will not allow these to play on my top. I'm just too much. I just understand it. I see what they trying to do, but it don't stick. It just don't stick. I should have knew though. I should have hit that key. I should have known better. I should have known, because see, I've seen in this culture where they have no regard and they give rewards. I've seen bodies drop and go and interview the alleged responsible party. Little to no backlash. Little to no backlash. And salute to them. Do what you do. I keep telling you, push whatever they accept. I'm just setting the gold standard. I'm just setting the gold standard. Not that we can't have conversations, but let's have real conversations. I've always stood on that. But it ain't lost on me that these niggas shake my hand today and interview my murderer next week. These niggas call my phone and holler love and interview my murderer next week. That ain't just how I'm giving it up. My conscience won't allow it. I really was deep out there. And I didn't lose my conscience. I've regained my conscience. And this is probably why I don't fit in, because I don't fit in. This is probably the problem. Right? Because I'm in content land, I'm in podcast world. I invite all these conversations. It's just some of them is just too sticky. It's a lot we can talk about in this world. I keep telling my team, bring me authors, bring me scientists, bring me talk show hosts, bring me actors, bring me legit psychologists. Bring me people a part of the military industrial complex. I need to speak to more people that just who killed each other. I'm the one pushing that one. Then what I say, I know y'all got it wrong because the hat still cocked. See, the hat still cocked just because I'm relatable. I know I'm supposed to go quarter zip. I know I'm in the position I'm supposed to go quarter zip, but I'm giving them this look because I want to give them this look. Bear with me because you bearing witness. You would think your reputation would mean more. So I just knew the culture was cooked. You know, I kind of viewed it and say, you know, we cooked as a culture. But I see how the ecosystem react. And I think we have to have a conversation about it. The ecosystem react really, really interesting to my interview with Charleston White, where I'm just like, yo, we ain't gonna have no thug talk. Just not right now. You told me you in character mode. The character is not rooted in reality. So therefore, you may have a conversation that just for the algorithm. And for me, I'm not interested in those kind of conversations at the moment. Now, I understand that there is no incentive for me to have morality on the microphone. For me to take these kind of stands, I do need people to understand that I understand the financial burden that puts on the business. And not necessarily saying that we doing bad, but I understand on the other side of that, there's millions of dollars. They've already created the ecosystem where you tear the rapper down and you make millions. I'm literally next in line to go through that door, tear the rapper down to make millions. I'm next in line, right? I'm at the door. I'm here. I make all the money. I got all the accolades. I'm literally at the door that they've created where they'll switch the mode. To if you are a creator of my magnitude with my connections, doing it how I'm doing it with the views I get, you now get to this spot where you got to make a decision. You can make $2 million money if you start tearing rappers down, fucking their careers up and working for the other side. We'll get you up to like at least 1.5 a month. And so if a rapper do something that we think deserve some understanding put next to it, we put some understanding next to it. That excludes nobody. There's a situation brewing in media where if you take the opposite side of the rapper, and if he says he's a pretty boy, you says he ain't never been a pretty boy, you start to make money. And I'm in that spot where I can do it in $1 million a month, easily, turn it up. That's the definition of not being for sale. There ain't a phone call Thug can make. There ain't a phone call Baby can make. There ain't a phone call nobody can make. All of them will tell you Loon just solid like that. That's just what kind of nigga Home is. He just one of them kind of niggas. Let me give a few minutes to respond to Akademiks, and then we'll move on to the next topic. I'm going to give y'all one more topic and get out of here. For people who don't know, Akademiks responded to my interview with Charleston White about me not allowing him to have the Young Thug conversation while he's in character mode. And he had a lot to say. I want to be clear with Akademiks, man. Let me explain something to you, low budget ass nigga. You don't take your police ass on somewhere talking all this high power shit. You can't see me in no day to end in Y, and today is included. I know you say I talk slow. You wouldn't understand what it's like to be important. You don't have to rush when you important. I'ma say it slow so I ain't gotta say it no more. So Akademiks comes out, and as the universe will have it, this is an interesting thing he done. He put my interview up next to Big Bank's interview. I get a phone call. Me and Bank talked like 2 days ago. He called my phone when it dropped with Charleston White. We had a conversation. Then I get another conversation that Bank and Akademiks was on the phone, and I really don't give a fuck. I don't know what's going on. I don't give a fuck. There ain't no problems with Akademiks. He's on that side. Don't nobody listen to him. I don't know nobody that listen to him. I believe that if I had a conversation with Akademiks, I'll wipe the floor with him on any aspect in the world, right? That's how I feel about it. I feel like we're not speaking to the same people. You know, whatever people he's speaking to, that's great. I think we're not speaking to the same people, which I think sometimes that makes for great content and conversation. But at this moment, I want to take a look at some of the things that I feel is wrong with how Akademiks approached and what happened with me and Charleston White. And so Akademiks goes on his platform and he puts my interview next to Bank interview, and he says, salute to Bank for interviewing Woody. For people who don't know, Woody is the lead witness in the YSL trial. Me and Bank were the two people that had interviews from Thug when he was going through his turmoil as it pertains to the jail calls and all of those different things that happened. He brought his interviews to our platform. And so Akademiks brings this out and say, you know, he try to contrast the way I handle it versus the way Big Bank handles it. And he's clapping for Big Bank. So I've been in this game too long, so I see that from a mile away, and that means nothing to me, right? Bank is my guy. He interviewed Woody. He do what he want to do. That's his business. So when I see Akademiks try to put Bank and I against each other, I say to myself, yo, this low-level game, these low-budget ass, police ass little niggas, man, they trying to run. It's ineffective. Bank interview Woody. Bank do what he want to do. He interview Woody. That's his business. But the case study comes for me when them try to act like I handled it wrong and Bank handled it right. Now, I agree. I invite conversations surrounding Thug and anybody else, just not in character mode. I got to keep saying that so they don't get a clip out of context. The internet is a very weird place. Now, if we had a conversation and it end up getting to a place where you telling your truth, that's one thing, handle your business. But I just don't operate like that. I think they have a very low level approach and understanding because they grew up outside the gate. They never grew up where their mama said you came with each other, y'all leave with each other. I tell my people, and I know a few of y'all, it's a few people out there right now, when you run into somebody that love me, it ain't even gonna be a conversation. You gonna know they love me by how they handled you. Right now, today, there's a few of y'all that got to deal with the consequences of certain things y'all said because people are coming on my behalf that I haven't instructed. I haven't even gave marching orders, but the way they feel about me, the love they have for me, make them handle you a certain way when they see you based off what you said. Y'all ain't come up like that. It go vice versa for me. There's a few people that I really care about. If I'm around you and things go left and you got something to say about them, I'ma handle you in a certain way. A lot of y'all didn't grow up like that. Y'all really don't know what that's like. We really had to mob with each other certain spots. We really had to go into the next nigga's neighborhood to a house party 4 and 5 deep. And so the people that truly know where I come from and how much ground I've covered and know I'm a boss and I came in like that, you know, certain words and certain themes, they don't even stick to me. Right? They say certain things, it doesn't even stick. It has no real meaning. It's just niggas in their feelings talking. When I hear Akademiks talk about me and reference my name, it would be real hatred. Even when you hear me speak about the dude, it really be about some information and a little here or there, man, you doing some sucker shit. When he talk about me, it's like he lost his old lady to me. It ain't no regular content creator kind of like, you know what I mean? It's like this little nigga heated and he ain't gonna do a motherfucking thing. I got 5 million on the fight. A nigga ain't gonna fuck with me. And you gonna get one of your security hurt playing with my people. Somebody gonna get hurt. And that just ain't for Akademiks. That's for one of you niggas. But the thing about it is this. There's an interesting thing when he deals with my name. that it feels vindictive. It feels like a lot of hatred. Because I'm having the same kind of pull he having. The same people he call, I can call. If I want to get into a concert, that's what I was trying to tell Adin Ross. Listen, Adin, you don't need academic. That shit Akademiks got y'all doing, man. That shit is like a January admission ticket, man. Like, why y'all like crowded around Akademiks and they taking y'all, man, that shit is a general admission ticket. He ain't kicking up no motherfucking hell of a thing, man. Y'all niggas can't even go backstage. But because Adin doesn't really know, he feels like that this is real pull. And I think that's part of what I'm saying is like, yo, I'm in the mix with some of these people, with some of these tours, with some of the companies, the Live Nations, the AG Touring, the Mac agencies. I'm understanding who running what and what's going on. I'm in some of these spots. I'm knowing what real pull look like. Shout out SIBO. Certain niggas can come grab you no matter what state they in and bring you all the way to the... Certain niggas can just... So I'm saying when I'm seeing Akademiks get y'all and y'all damn near getting general admission tickets, now that sound like hate. And Loon ain't never hated on no nigga. I ain't never did no hating. I'm just stating the obvious at a nigga that keep hating on me and mad because I'm really who I say I am and I'm getting to it. Let's address what he said. Akademiks, and I don't even want to play the clip because I don't want to play the clip, but Akademiks had an issue with how I, quote unquote, in his words, defended Young Thug. He said that I done too much. He said that Young Thug had me on payroll and Lil Baby and Thug is paying me to have these stances, and anytime that a rapper comes to sit with me, it's because they're trying to position an argument that the industry isn't feeling. And I said, I kind of like that. He didn't know that. He didn't know I kind of liked it that he said that part. Yo, the industry, when them rappers go sit with bruh, they really trying to go over there because they really trying to get the other side of the story. I said, I like that. Because that's how it started, right? Rose from the concrete. That's how it started. And so when they come here, they have real conversations, some of the backdrop, not what happened, but why it happened. You understand me? And so these low budget ass niggas will go to hating on you and try to reframe it. He says I'm riding too hard for Thug. Matter of fact, let's take a look at the clip. Pay attention.
Signed him for like $23. He's been trying to be taxed on. Like, oh, I'm the real nigga. Like, it's one of those guys, he keeps acting like he's so real, like he turns lame. Charleston did an interview with him. This nigga is a paid shill. I want to let everybody know. Lil Baby, Young Thug, he completely sucks them off. No backbone possible. And the reason why I'm juxtaposing this to what Big Bank did, because Big Bank, I don't think he went too crazy on Thug, but he gave a decent interview with Thug. But he also gave the opposite side an opportunity to vocalize their issues, even if they didn't speak too lightly of Thug. This guy right here, he's the sucker that you're going to see Lil Baby and Young Thug, which it don't work because, like, this nigga can't change no narrative. When they want to go put something in the air, they go to this bum ass nigga right here. So anyway, he paid Charleston White 10 grand to go interview on his platform, and Charleston White exposed him as nothing more than a Young Thug dick sucker. Y'all got to watch this because I was.
Hey, number one, let me say this to Akademiks because some of this is, I know you doing your content thing. It's a little disrespectful, but I in front of your family, nigga. I do that in front of your loved ones. Like, I'm willing to do that in front of your, like, you got to watch how you talking to me. And I know you ain't going to hurt the prime minister. You just talking, right? It's content for you. But I think you should watch yourself. I think you should really watch how you handle me, man. It's not wise to use those kind of words when you talk to men. And I know you don't know that because nobody's taught you. When I talk to you, it's an orientation. Mouth closed. You know if you was in my face, you wouldn't say nothing like that. Have some respect, police ass nigga. Low budget ass nigga, have some respect. Your big homie wouldn't say that to my face. Have some respect, low budget ass nigga. We need to keep it content. We see how your eyes look when you outside. Have some respect, police ass nigga. And we'll get to the backbone part of this in a second. Let's listen to a little more. Pay attention.
Watching this today, it was highly entertaining. Shout out to my man Charleston White.
I need to tell my testimony.
Okay then.
So I don't tell it on the internet. Y'all have never highlighted no victim of their crimes.
I don't want to.
There we go. I keep telling you, this nigga right here is the biggest fraud we got. He's a wannabe Taxstone that just really, Taxstone at least was entertaining. He's a slow talking old bum that's gotten propped up by the niggas who are trying to run campaigns. When I see a rapper sit with him, they're literally trying to get, quote unquote, the streets to validate, because he supposedly represents a street nigga, an opinion that the culture doesn't feel. So he's
whoa. Let me correct Bozo the clown. Let me tell you something, low budget ass nigga. When you see a nigga sit with me, it's actually the opposite. They're trying to clarify what the culture does feel, because what you guys are spewing in the industry is counterintuitive to the conversations I have with all of the people that I know. So I'm telling you something. When they come sit with me, they come to sit with the prime minister. They come to sit with the highest level executive branch. They come to sit to tell you niggas what the culture feeling. I'll let they come to sit because they trying to tell you what the culture not feeling. You niggas not the culture. You niggas is imported goods. I'm finna start putting tariffs on you niggas. So when you see somebody come sit with me, quite the opposite of what this low budget ass nigga said. When you see somebody come sit with me, they trying to clarify what the culture is feeling and what they feel. The industry has been infiltrated at this point. I need you to know that. And so anytime you getting claps from DJ Akademiks, you probably doing some fuck nigga shit. 9 times out of 10, if Akademiks big you up, you probably doing some fuck nigga shit. You probably telling on yourself. You probably doing right. So I'm telling you, I don't never really expect them niggas to big me up, because I ain't never doing no fuck nigga shit like that. I was telling the homie the other day, yo, I invite this low budget ass niggas to have a conversation. I know he'll rather do it on stream. I'd rather do it in person, so we can refrain from using some of that SMD language. Cause I know in person niggas gonna watch how they talk. I know niggas gonna watch how they talk and they may not even look my way. And we don't do this for tough guy shit. I'm intellectually opposing niggas' ideas. I'm come too far. I beat that game. That game behind me. That's why y'all can't emotionally trigger me. I don't got nothing to prove. Anytime there's a violation, there's gonna be a demonstration. Outside of that, I'm happy that I'm out the game. I'm ecstatic I'm out the game. Y'all can't emotionally trigger and charge me. But I guarantee you 100 out of 100 times, these niggas won't disrespect me in my face. And that don't got no asterisk beside it. That motherfucker, that don't got no asterisk beside it. They won't disrespect me in my face. That's a guarantee. Signed the general. Pay attention.
He pays Charleston White to do an interview. Charleston White wants to talk about, and if anybody knows Charleston White, independent thinker, he gonna go from a different angle no matter what he talking about. But he wants to say, hey, as we're talking about the culture and talking about some of this criminality shit, fuck what Young Thug got going on. We should focus on the victims of Young Thug and YSL. This is nothing new that Charleston White has done. Charleston White has done outreach programs and done events with Tuka's mom, while people have thought of Tuka as a strain of weed. He has reached into that community and reached into those families and people who have been hurt by some of what rap has kind of glorified as the, dancing on the graves of some of these guys. And he's talked to these families. So he cares a lot about sometimes victims. I think Thug got him on payroll. Watch this shit. Oh, we don't want to talk about Thug. Oh, you getting paid. I get it.
What about Thug?
You can't now. We gonna talk about
we
Thug.
Not talk.
Rich homie Quan is one of Thug's victims.
talking about Thug.
Let me get some of Thug.
Man.
Yes, yeah, all right, man.
We moving forward.
Yo, Big Bank, I give you the props because this is why you're where you're at, and this is why this bozo's where he's at.
We moving
let's
forward.
end the interview then. Let's end the interview.
We ain't got to end the interview.
We can end the interview.
We moving forward.
We can end the interview.
Man, we moving forward.
We can't talk
Charleston.
about Thug and them victims.
We not talking about Thug, man.
Yo, this nigga is playing a hell of a defense for Thug, huh?
What kind of would I be to let you talk about Thug?
What you mean? What type of nigga would you be? A podcaster?
Me like that. You heard me earlier kind of respond to that. Well, say it's a podcaster. Well, I'm a thinker. I'm not a podcaster. I'm a broadcaster. I'm a CEO. I'm a father. I'm a thinker. What I'm dealing with is understanding that this man is in character mode. We're not having a conversation while you're in character mode about one of my little homies. It's just not what happens. I know you niggas will sit with anybody and do anything because you niggas ain't nobodies. So you niggas liable to show up anywhere doing anything. You niggas serve to show up in a freakum dress to do a show. Man, I don't put none past some of you podcasting ass nigga. Man, you niggas don't give a fuck who you talk to, where you talk to them at, what you got to wear. Man, you niggas will do anything, so I get it. I know y'all can't relate to a nigga to say, bruh, not right now, bruh, not when you like this. Let's talk about that later, family. That's my little homie. Y'all don't even understand that when I know niggas that'll go to jail about my name. So I think we just see things different. Now, let's unpack it a little more because I think it even gets deeper. Specifically dealing with academics. And I'm responding to you this time, low budget ad nigga. So just pay attention. This is orientation and the student learns with his mouth closed. I find it interesting how dumb Akademiks thinks the audience is. The way they think they can sway the audience from pillar to post and people believe it. I'm here to tell them that there's another side of this culture that I represent and understand and speak to daily that can see beyond the bills. They can read the tea leaves. They can pick up on signals. They can understand what was not said, what you did or didn't do, how you meant to come across versus what you actually said. Some of your hidden intentions and hidden agendas, they're able to sniff things out in real time. And so it's kind of like ChatGPT, how they get more intelligent as they go on and on and on. So they're able to now pick up on some of the shit you low budget ass niggas been doing. See, it's important y'all didn't hear me say, yo, I'm chasing niggas down if they talk about Thug and I'm beating them up. Or I'm putting Baby Loon out there to crash out on niggas that's talking about Thug. No, I'm just saying not on my platform, brother, not right now. I really know dude. But when you hear some of these people talk that think they're dealing with an audience who doesn't have any information, lack of a better term, even sped. But I'm here to tell you that people are alive and well. And this culture is alive and well, and it's actually in good hands if we just continue to make the right decisions. One of the things that stood out for me is that Akademiks can say that Loon is riding for Thug and Baby and some of these other rappers. And he basically is trying to position this as, hey, this compromises his brand. The integrity of his brand has been compromised because he's riding for Thug and Baby. Although that's untrue because we are journalists. We run a really big company that's doing well, make over 7 figures every year easily. We used to live in a time when you didn't even have to defend your morals. I'm really a big homie. I'm really someone people look up to. I'm really someone to give information and clear the way for the young nigga that done lived a little longer. I really been to Colombia by myself, me and my partner to take care of the business. I'm really one-on-one. I'm not like these other guys. And so my word means something. My stance means something. My integrity still is on display. But I know some of the people in media that had an adverse reaction to me shutting the Young Thug talk down, they have to get out in front of it and say something. You know why? They have to act like it ain't right. You know why? Because they plan on continue to fuck over you. They plan on continuing to interviewing you murderers 2 days after they hugged you, called your phone. They plan on interviewing that shot at your mama and them house. They plan on playing them kind of games, so they got to get out in front of them and say, Loon doing too much. That ain't how journalists move. I agree with you. We open to all conversations. Someone that I have personal relationships with, you cannot slander on my platform. Really with my campaign. I don't have to go through management. I don't go through teams. I call straight myself. They come right. So I'm telling you, it's a different level of respect and relationship because we deal with each other outside of the industry and the music. We both in the industry. No, I make enough money to handle whatever I want. And them mega rich. All of the guys I fuck with, they go for Herbo. I can call Herb right now. I can call any of these right now. And so here's the interesting part. If Akademiks is going to call what I done for banning the Young Thug talk with Charleston White because he was in character mode on my platform and I have a personal relationship with Young Thug and basically say that I'm riding for certain rappers in the South trying to position narratives that the culture is feeling but the industry isn't recognizing and is having problems with that. But here's the beautiful thing about it. Each and every person that you really see me plug with and with, I have personal relationships with in real life. Like I'm an underground legend. I'm a legend, man. So I got relationships beyond music. And so if we're going to characterize my decision from stopping Charleston White from discussing Young Thug while he was in performative character mode as anything other than integrity in real time, then we need to be honest and talk about what integrity actually is. I drew a boundary not because I'm afraid to have a conversation, but because I understand the weight of words. I also understand the algorithm and I understand what character mode is. There's legal implications. There's ethical responsibilities that comes with being a man that comes from my walk of life. No matter the industry that they get in, no matter the job description, no matter the person married, no matter the road traveled, there's residue from where we come from. I've lost people in the real world to gun violence at a young age. I buried my friend at 15. I walked in on my cousin dying at 16. Young man. I've saw the results of playing both sides. And I've handed the belt out for playing both sides. I done lived a certain kind of life to understand playing both sides is always a dangerous spot for everybody involved. And although we're no longer in that, and although we're no longer walking that walk of life, that residue still remains. And so if we're going to call that dick pulling, because I refuse to let someone weaponize theatrics in a space where I'm responsible for content, culture, and conversation. It's my responsibility over here, this Up There podcast. It's the executive branch, the itinerary, the Southern District. It's my job over here. I'm responsible for culture, commentary, and critiques. I'm responsible for what is and what isn't weaponized and what kind of conversations we have on this illustrious platform. And so if we're gonna consider that a biasness, or if we're gonna consider that favoritism, or any one of the low vocabulary accusations you low budget ass can make out there, like if we gonna call it something, then we gotta speak about the other behaviors we normalize. Low budget ass DJ Akademiks. You must forget who you speaking with, and that's what I think. And that's why I always like to approach this shit with logic, because guess what? They hope you get emotional and they can trick you out of speaking about things and calling out very clear hypocrisy. I wanted to ask DJ Akademiks, what do we call a man that live streams every day in the middle of a battle, defending someone he's never met, someone he's never sat across from, never interviewed? All because he's quote unquote my favorite artist. You damn near got your ass beat by Dave Free. You knee deep in beef with TDE because you defending Drake, and you got the nerve to say because I didn't want to have a conversation about Thug while Charleston is in character mode that I'm biased. You a poster music with fire emojis because somebody gave you $2,000. You use your entire platform to lie to the people. You don't even know the music. You don't even think it's fire, but you will post this fire because you been paid. I came in with money. You made yours amongst these people, begging, borrowing, and stealing. Have some respect. It gets even deeper when you understand that Drake, and I f with Drake, ain't got nothing to do with Drake. I'm just dealing with this bozo, this low budget ass who sees me say, yo, Charleston, let's not have the conversation about Thug, bro. You in character mode, not right now. I f with you, but not right now. and calls that me being biased and trying to rob my platform of its integrity when it's really impossible to do. Everybody see me built it brick by brick. Everybody saw that I was an architect. They saw me go brick by brick. And when we go to thinking about it, this situation with Drake, people were getting shot. There were real things going on. He took that shit personal with Kendrick. Akademiks jumps in there. Listen, if what I'm doing is biasness and it says something about the integrity of my platform, what do you call what you've done for Drake? It's a lot of unsolicited allegiance coming from your side as it pertains to Drake. He won't even interview with you. He continues to go and interview with Bobby, and you keep popping out, getting black eyes for him. And I get it. If I'm Drake, I don't interview with you because you play both sides. Same time, you act like you with Drake, and then you will play some shit about him liking young girls. It's like you don't understand because you've been imported. You really don't understand what the you doing. And so when I talk to you, I expect for your mouth to be shut because you got to know you don't have no understanding on human behavior. You got your degree, but you don't have no human behavior understanding, love. And so my behavior was grounded in principle. What was your behavior grounded in? I need people to understand they think they're dealing with emotional, fragile people. They actually think that it's important we remember that this dude called all the Kendrick fans bots in the middle of the fight. I would even argue that some of what's going on with the lawsuit, like people in hip hop, somebody needs to do a documentary on all of the problems in hip hop. Like I ain't even talking about the street shit, the beef shit, the real life issues in hip hop and business that Akademiks has played a role in is astronomical. When you examine Akademiks, his footprint, over the last 5 to 10 years, not the noise, not even the fanfare, but the actual outcomes. There's a consistent pattern that emerges. I think it's important that you guys hear me well, because if I just say it plainly, Akademiks has not been utilized to build anything over the last 10 to 15 years of his career outside of himself. Granted, he's been able to get fanfare. But again, when I'm talking, the low budget ad need to shut his mouth. Cause he's more like a wrecking ball, right? He's not used to build anything. And I'll give you some examples, but over these last 10 to 15 years, show me what he has built outside of himself. And if you really pay attention, your commentary has done what? It has contributed to the dismantling of people's careers, reputations, and their ecosystems. And people may smile when they hear that, right? Like, oh man, that nigga big bad wolf. No, sometimes it's unintentional. Again, this is like a wrecking ball. This cannot build anything. Anything it come in contact with, it destroys it. From a brand perspective, you pay attention over the last 10 or 15 years, and if I give you some examples of what he's been involved in, but if I give you some examples, it'll make sense. But when you think about it, he's built no clothing line, no business, no pure fuel. He's built no media company, no clothing line, no tech pivot, no media network, no cultural foundation, no mentorship, no pipeline, no streaming service, no nothing in 10, 15 years. Is incapable of building things when you deal with a platform that has been built in the way that it's been built. Highly effective, but only to destroy. There has been no entity that reflects creation, only destruction. And so when you look at me in contrast, we're trying to represent creation while they represent destruction. Creation versus destruction. See, I keep telling y'all it's no longer real versus fake. It's creation versus destruction. Good versus evil. And you can still throw real and fake in there, but it's creation above all. Creation versus destruction. If I have a conversation with someone who don't know any better, I'll tell them that, this young man has been instrumental in inserting himself in volatile situations and accelerating their collapse. And for some reason, they think the audience is so stupid to forget about some of these things. Think about this. Anything Akademiks touch, he destroys. I know a lot of people in the industry, and it sounds counterproductive because a lot of people in the industry is, man, you need Akademiks. The platform is the integrity is shot. We know you can pay for the fire emoji over there. You can pay money for him to say this is the new banger. The integrity is collapsed. On top of that, think about everything that he's been involved with that notably we know him for. Takashi 6ix9ine. This is the first one. This was the blueprint for the destruction. This is really what turned him out. Some people said it was the war on Chirac. I think they had him scared after the war on Chirac. They really could have got him together. Takashi really broke the seal. Akademiks was an amplifier for Takashi. And we're talking the early years. We're talking about when he first came in the game. He was an architect for the chaos, for the campaign of the chaos. He was an architect for that young boy to get his voice out and say, "F these rappers on the West Coast," and then go to the West Coast. And while he thought he was building Takashi 6ix9ine up, ultimately he sent him to jail. You contribute to him going to jail. You contribute to the downfall of their whole shit. And so when you zoom out, you see that he helped engineer the trolling and the escalations of some of these things, including the campaign of Slide for Von. When we think about the Durk and Von and 6ix9ine situation, yo, you put 6ix9ine up there with that Slide for Von shit, everybody else was saying, man, that's radioactive, bro. That's a little too deep. We ain't going there with it. Now, the digital energy did transform into real life federal pressure. See, it began as trolling and it ended up for Takashi as a RICO indictment. It started as trolling. And then that shit ended up in the RICO indictment, the Chief Keef shit, certain things, the RICO indictment. Yeah, it started as trolling, ha ha he. But guess who was there the whole time? The wrecking ball. Nothing built. Everything burned. That's Takashi 6ix9ine. We talk about Durk. You over Durk. You got around Durk and acted as a wrecking ball. The feds are alleging a murder for hire, and it's the same exact situation that Slide for Von environment Akademiks help glamorize and platform. Even after the streets whispered it's hot and Slide for Von already was took care of, they ain't even saying it no more. You still bought Durk on your platform and then what? Talk directly to him about Slide for Von. Again, nothing built. And so you talk to Durk about Slide for Von, it's now in this federal case. Listen, this is all I'm saying. Wherever you show up at my nigga, it seem like you a wrecking ball. Seem like you fucking up everything you touching. You over there with Durk. You got a relationship with Durk. I don't know why Durk let you play the middle like that. I still don't understand that. And I'm going to ask him that one day whenever I let you play the middle like that. Yo, you platforming Takashi, we can't be cool. Unless you platforming him where he not disrespecting me. That's why they got to call me out. Because they the that'll shake Durk head and hug on Durk and then post Takashi 6ix9ine disrespecting Durk on their platform. So they gotta say, yo, Loon probably doing too much, bro. Them should be paying Loon 6-7 figures a year for that kind of shit. They got to say that. But you sit with Durk, bring that Slide for Von shit up because you have no understanding of the consequences. That is under investigation. You with Durk, boom. He's now in jail. All of a sudden you on stream one day, Durk ends up on the phone, boom, now boom. That's brought to the judge. That's something else Akademiks involved in, wrecking ball material. Tory Lanez. The encouragement of Tory Lanez by Akademiks is what got him in this trouble now, going through depositions and things of that nature. And listen, I'm not in that. I don't know what's up with Tory Meg's situation. All I'm saying was Akademiks was too involved in a situation he had nothing to do with. He's a wrecking ball. Anytime he's involved and he clapping for you, it's tearing something down. Akademiks plugged in with Tory Lanez. He didn't help Tory Lanez. There was nothing built. It harmed Tory Lanez in his sentencing, in his public hostility. It made the courts interpret his online behavior as arrogance and not innocence. It did not help Tory Lanez. Today, where's Tory? Today, Tory is serving a 10-year sentence, and the digital agitation from Akademiks did not help him legally or culturally, period. NBA YoungBoy, the business was jeopardized. Again, these are just, and this is just shit off the top of the head. You jeopardize YoungBoy business. Doing YoungBoy's tour, what did Act do? Act commentary created the perception that YoungBoy was actively disrespecting cities. Not because YoungBoy said it, because Act packages that way. Promoters may get nervous. Insurance companies get nervous. They ask questions. Sponsorships reconsider. You understand what I'm saying? You turned that touring business into some bullshit. Then you bring Adin Ross up there. Charleston get on the platform, say, yo, they were trying to give $1 million. You f that money up. So you on a tour f them money up, and they ain't saying nothing to you. They just letting you be backstage on tour f the money up. Adin Ross trying to pay. You talking about ain't nobody paying, man. He ain't paying nobody. Who is this? Then you go home and you paint it as if I'm going through these cities disrespecting these rappers. You starting to add to an already fragile relationship I have with the touring market. You're not helping YoungBoy at that point. I mean, listen, dude, when we think about it, you can do these all day. It can be 100 of these. I'll give you one or two more and then we'll move on. Think about Drake. Bad advice, bad outcomes. You convinced Drake that all of Kendrick Lamar's fans were bots. Now, do I share the opinion that there may be a large percentage? Yeah. I believe bots are involved. But I think in the Drake and Kendrick battle, a notable portion of Drake's public position was influenced by academic streams. And so the loud intel that wasn't accurate, that created a false confidence disguised as inside information. And that's what I'm saying. You negligent at the wheel because you drunk, you just out here bullshitting. You done got rich, you lucked up. You ought to be happy. You ought to be around here doing the right thing, happy. You done went and got rich. You know, you luck up and get rich. Don't many get rich getting drunk every day. You ought to be lucky. Rather than saying things disrespectful to me when I choke a ass out within the blink of an eye. But I think you presented a lot of information to Drake that wasn't rooted in fact, that he may have believed was rooted in fact. I'm going to stick by the bot narrative, for example. The bots on the internet, Ax's version of the story was grounded in what he thought was verifiable detail. I don't know. That's what I found interesting about Drake listening to some of these guys. I was sitting on the sideline saying, number one, he's playing both sides of this. So I get why Drake don't give him the interview. If you listen to this dude, you see him play both sides of things, especially with Drake and Kendrick. He tried to be loud about certain things, and I'll tell you when he really went on the other side and really got on with Drake. When the Kendrick people started dubbing him, even when he came back. Because he's used to playing Dirk and YoungBoy. That's his thing, Drake and Kid. He used to being able to do that, right? And we all do that on some level because we're journalists in this game. But he's able to do it in a way that he thinks flies under the radar where people are not paying attention. And it's just not the case. I believe he gave Drake a lot of bad information that made him believe that a lot of the Kendrick fans were bots when they were not. I think there are a large percent of bots in there. I think at the leadership of Ak and some of those type of people, he was led to believe that maybe there's more bots than probably actually are. Now let's pay attention to this last part. Adin Ross goes to the Playboi Carti concert last night. Here's another situation where Akademiks acts as a wrecking ball. Cuffham falls off of the high rise and busts his head. Number one, we send our condolences to the young boy Cuffham. My children really rock with Adin, Cuffin, and all of these young boys. That's number one. Number two, let me put this on the record. Adin Ross, you do not need Akademiks to do that shit he got you doing. That's a general admission ticket. If you're asking me, he's not taking you through any scenario that makes him King Jaffe Joffer. Man, I can get you them kind of tickets to anything in the world. You talking about that shit he doing. I thought he was taking y'all backstage and your stream was gonna be explicit. Salute to Adin Ross for going to give his fans what they want. But I want to be clear for people who don't understand touring. Man, that shit Akademiks doing for them streamers don't warrant him being able to call you his son. Like he doing some kind of hell of a thing. He taking y'all to some shit and sitting you on the high rise. Set that to the side. Adin Ross, Akademiks, Cuffham, all of these gentlemen showed up to the Playboi Carti stream. They were not able to take cameras into the backstage. I'm not even sure if they were able to see where Carti was at. With the cameras and things of that nature, but Adin went there. They had a good time. Unfortunately, as they were standing on the high rise, the bar fell off. Pay attention to this. Salute to Adin. I hope Cuffham is alright. Cuffham is the name of the streamer that fell right there. But this is where Akademiks had Adin and Cuffham at. And this ended up happening. What is now going to take place, what I believe to be the following steps is now there'll be a lawsuit. Now, the lawsuit on the venue is about to get shaky. Why would that be the case? Who gave them the tickets? How did they get in the venue? Now, I truly believe that doesn't matter. But if you believe you go all through this lawsuit without that becoming a point of contingent, I think you have the wrong idea in mind. I think at some point they bring up, how did they get in? Who gave them tickets? They didn't purchase tickets. So did we, like, I think that becomes in question. I think a lawsuit's coming from this. Now, if you're Playboy Cardi's team, you're saying, damn, Akademiks invited these people. We told them they couldn't come back here, but these people ended up falling and cutting their head open. Somebody's really hurt. I don't know how this dude is favorable on anybody tour at this point. How is this dude being called to anybody tour at this point? You go to YoungBoy tour, cost him millions of dollars, go home saying he dissing everybody. Next thing you know, shows get canceled. Then you get on stream and basically let the world know that YoungBoy then was trying to charge Adin. They scamming. They trying to scheme on Adin. Next day you bring Charleston White up there. That becomes an issue. Then you go to this Playboy Cardi thing. You bring them up here, right? You f with Adin. They know who Adin is. The crowd go crazy. They love Adin. You take him out there where niggas is on a high rise. This is Adin Ross. You got niggas out in the middle where they done stopped looking at the show and they focused on dude. You got niggas standing on a high rise and trying to sun them. Man, you don't cool out, man. Anywhere this dude at is a wrecking ball. You don't help build nothing up, loved one. Think about this. Takashi 6ix9ine is in a situation that what just happened? His home was just burglarized. Why was his home burglarized? Because he's been doing streams with everybody in the world. Who brought him back into streaming? I'll let you guess it at home. But now that Takashi 6ix9ine is back in streaming, what happens? They go hold his mother at gunpoint because they found out where he live at. You invite these streamers to your house. These dudes are live. Pay attention to what Takashi said happened. Roll this clip.
So the world knows this. It's a fact. I'm on house arrest. I've been on house arrest. I think everyone in America and everyone across the world knows that I'm on house arrest. Yesterday, they allowed me to leave for work. People, I guess, saw that I was on live stream with Jack Doherty. They took that opportunity to do some pussy shit. Like I said, it's me, so I get it. The rules are different for me. But if it was your favorite artist, your favorite actor, and that was done, they don't get no cool points for that. My mom is 60 years old. Y'all know I'm supposed to come home. Y'all know I'm home all the time. I'm on house arrest. So y'all take the opportunity that I'm not home. Y'all see me on live stream with Jack Doherty in Miami, and y'all do that. That's pussy shit. That's whack. Get no cool points. I don't think nobody respects that shit. But like I said,
So there's people going into Takashi home. You know, they done that to his mom, man. You know, I'm not interested in mothers and things being involved. You know, some niggas is slimy like that though. Some niggas is like, you know, they'll treat the mothers and grandmothers and all that kind of different ways. So I'm not interested in those kind of individuals. I think those dudes you need to really put them up against gladiators, let them really feel it. Because sometimes, you know, people don't respect the natural order of things and how God has ordained this universe to interact with one another. But this is a serious situation for Takashi. Number one, a couple of different things. this is byproduct of being on all these different streams. You got these young guys showing up to your house on live, talking about put the camera down. Then you got Traveler Ross pulling out there and showing other houses in your neighborhood. This what I be trying to tell these guys like Traveler Ross and other people from outside the culture when they have certain stuff wrong. He don't even really understand that I didn't show his house. Yo, if you show a house within 3 miles from my house, you showed my house. If you would show me within 5 miles of where a nigga live at, just show me one house in the area. We'll figure out where a nigga ass at. Trap Lord Ross come through there doing a documentary and showing other houses in the neighborhood. Talking about they got a gate around here. Look at these other houses. Pretty nice houses back here. On top of that, you got the usual suspects, the Akademiks and all those guys come out there to stream. How many times you think you're going to invite people out there to stream and ain't nobody else going to get the location? How many girls you going to invite out there for the 20v1 or whatever that shit y'all be doing on stream? Y'all do a fake blind date and invite girls from around the corners and in Miami. How many of them you think you going to invite over to your house and ain't nobody going to get the address? And then here's another stupid thing they're doing, and maybe he's convinced himself of it. The streets is a myth. The street people ain't gonna do nothing. Man, them folks ain't gonna do nothing. I don't have no security. I be wondering what they get when they saying that. I don't have no security. Man, I'm out here and I don't do no security. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. Sometimes it's bravado. It's like, man, you know, I move around like that. I trust the universe. All is well. I trust the universe. I get that. But sometimes I be thinking like if niggas in his situation to be like, my mama stay here. And I'm showing money and jewelry and I ain't got no security. They just be talking. Did you see me with some security? Who's here? That was a time I seen Takashi trying to call himself flexing, right? Cause that's something he got bad. I think he feel played. He spent so much money on security. He just got a phobia now. He just keep talking about it. I don't got security. I don't got security. Who they talking about with security? I don't do no security. He just keep talking about it. One time I heard him speaking about it to a dude that was interviewing him. And he was talking about, yo, I don't have any security. I don't have any security. But what he doesn't understand is that he's sitting across from a square. So he want to shine for the watchers. So he really pouring it on. I don't got no security, do you see some security? Dude, like, nah, ain't no security. I'm saying, you see who with me? You see how we moving? Didn't holler out. Man, it's only one person with you and he ain't got a gun. I came to your house. It was only one person there and they didn't have a gun. Did what they saying on stream now. And you think that's falling on deaf ears. The interesting fact that I think people don't understand is Takashi is financially vulnerable right now. So even though those gentlemen broke in his house, he cannot move. So his mama and him got to still live in that home where 4 just broke in yesterday. They can't move. He bought it, cash is his. Maybe he'll sell it. You know, where do you move to? He did a lot of custom shit to it. He got to stay there. I don't think he got the liquid cash to really do nothing, to shake nothing. And if he sell it, he can move. But, you know, that's a lot to do. So they now still have to live in a house that's been invaded in that way. Like, you know where we from. Soon something like it happen, you move within an hour. Everything gone. We out of here. This house done. You know what I mean? Soon as you get a whiff of something like that happen, you out of there. You know, God willing, nothing like that never happened to y'all. But, you know, I think a lot of this has to do with how visible he's been in the eyes of the public. Just been too many people coming to his home. Too many people coming to his home. He goes for sentencing. We'll see what's going on with that. I need y'all to go watch that Charleston White interview that comes out part 2, where we really talk about Takashi and we kind of get heated. He's trying to tell me Takashi's a gangster. I'm laughing at it. I believe Takashi just grew up around everybody. But you know how we do it. But hopefully y'all got something from today's episode. I see y'all next week. You know the love is real when it's coming from over here. You dig what I'm saying? Hit that like button. You know the vibes. It's Up There Podcast. Love y'all. For shitty.